Welcome back for a really quick video. What I'm going to be talking about now is an issue I had with some customers' horns with Selmer Series 2 tenor saxophones. And I have a Mark 6 alto here just as a prop. But I remember back in the early 2000s, customers sent me their Series 2. I refurbished it, and I couldn't quite get it playing 100% with a nice full tone. And for me, that irks me because I always try to figure out what's the problem, because usually when you don't get the full tones with something, there's a leak someplace. And around the same time, another customer contacted me. They had a horn refurbished that they just bought, which was a Series 2. They had another Series 2, and they said the other Series 2 sounded much more full and powerful than that first Series 2, even though they were really refurbished by the same tech using the same materials and everything like that, and it's sealed and everything. And he sent that horn to me. They both had the same problem. I've long forgotten the serial numbers now because this was early 2000s. I remember I hurt my back in 98, and I stopped doing tenors several years after that because it just, the horns are too heavy once you pack them up, like to ship them with FedEx or something, if they weren't local. But it was really interesting because what I would do, you as a tech, you go through, you put a leak light inside the horn, then you look for leaks, and there were no leaks. And the horn sounded really good on the upper end, sounded nice and full, good enough. But when you got to the more lower end, it just lost that full tone that you're looking for. So I went an opposite way. Instead of putting a leak light inside, I just used a flashlight, and I went, around the pads as you would, and I put a probe on the inside to look around, a mirror. And what I found out on the inside, it wasn't a pad issue, but the main rib, the main keywork rib, there's two pinholes on the body inside, well, through the body, and there are two pins on the back side of the rib, which I assume allowed them to position it properly and to solder it. Now, when you solder one of these ribs, if you ever watch them online, they put silver solder on it after it's heated up, but the pins were basically seamed in the middle of the rib. So I don't think there's a way for them to really check to actually solder, including the pin, because what I assume was happening was there's air pressure leak at one or both of those pins in the body. And I simply put liquid shellac with a long Q-tip on those pins, and the horn just at that point then was 100%. So a little secret for the Series 2 tenors, probably the early models, I don't remember the serial numbers of the two I had, is if your horn isn't quite 100%, look down the body tube and look for two little pinholes where the rib would be for the main keywork here. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Something to look for if you think your Series 2 should play better than it does, and it never has. Give a like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you later.